From the previous video, we already know that some modifiers will improve your drop chance, like increased rarity of items found in this area, rare monsters, magic monsters. They are some of the most important modifiers to increase your drop chance. But there are some other ways to increase even more the drop chance you want to reach and eventually increase that chance for those divine orbs. And that way is using wall orbs and instill them with these distilled potions, alright? So that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Hello guys, welcome to one more video. My name is Will, and in this one, it's the part 2. If you guys have not watched the first one, I did some tests comparing these modifiers to other waystones without those modifiers, and it really makes a difference. You get more exalted, more accuracy with these modifiers. So on this one, we're gonna explore a bit more and go a bit more deep with that crafting and choosing your maps. So we have these distilled things here. Before we use a Vol Orb, we want to check these ones first. And each of them, as you guys can see, it says that you can instill a waystone. And each of them will have a different effect on your waystones. And I'm gonna check all of them here just to show you guys. Two of them are the most important ones. So the grid one will increase the rarity, okay? So this is one of the good ones. You can increase the rarity with delirium modifiers, and as well you will be delirious, okay? So what happens with this is that you will get some of that delirium currency, which is this one here. We get simulacrum splinters from if you instill those waystones. But let's go back to this to have a look at all of these. So this one will increase the rarity, so this one is a really good one. This one will increase the number of rare monsters, and is a good one as well. Then we have this one that will just increase the waystones found in area. To be honest, they already have a really high drop, so I don't think these ones are worth it to use. We have the higher that will increase the magic monsters. Again, you can use these ones if you want. Will increase the magic monsters and a little bit of your drop chance, but I think these two are the better ones you can use. We have this one that will increase the pack size. We have the Disgust, which will increase the precursor tablets drop. We have the Despair, that will increase the stack size of simulacrum splitters. So if you want to farm more simulacrum splitters, this is one of the best ways. And this one will make the rare monsters to have an additional modifier. So if they have an additional modifier, probably they will have higher drop chance as well. This one will make the unique monsters with one additional modifier. So this one will be good if you are doing a map with a boss, or even if you are doing a citadel. Isolation will increase even more the delirious, okay? So probably you will be getting more simulacrum splitters. These three ones are a bit more expensive, alright? So we're gonna check that price. So we don't want to use these ones. They are really expensive. The isolation, let's go here. The isolation is like 160. They are very expensive. This one is also expensive. It's like around 40. This one is around 29. And these ones are not really worth it, to be honest. I think the best ones is these ones that give you the increase the rare monsters and rarity, and that's what I want to test in this video. And then we have these ones, and there's another reason. So the ones that increase your rarity, if you check here, so if you want some of these, they are not that expensive, so you can instill your stones with these. So so each exalted gives you one grid, so you invest 2 exalted with this. And this one, which is Paranoia, is 239. Okay, so both of them are 2 exalted, 2 something. This one is 2.39. So you need to invest even more exalted if you want to increase your drop chance. So what I want to do in this video is to do 10 of these maps with good modifiers, instill 10 of them with grid. Okay, so I'll be doing something like this. I'm gonna show you. So you click on this, right click on this, and then we're gonna put 1 here, and then we put 3 grids. So with 3 you will increase the rarity by 24 plus you will have 30% delirious, which will increase the chance for simulacrum splitters. And then you just need to instill, and there you go. So I'm gonna do all of this to all of these stones. As you guys can see, all of them have rare monsters or increased rarity, and I want to do 10 maps that are instilled with rarity, and then I'm gonna do 10 maps with the same modifiers with Paranoia. And the final test for this video to know what is the best thing to do will be doing this. So I'm gonna do using Greed or Paranoia, and also using a Val Orb, because the Val Orb, which is this one, you have a chance to turn that tier 15 stone to a tier 16, but you also have a chance to turn it to a tier 14, so it's always risky, but it's worth it if you are turning it to a tier 16. So I'm gonna do all the math. I'll do an Excel file like I did before. I'm gonna tell you how much I invested on these stones, because we are using this Greed Distilled as well, and then we'll see if it was worth it, all the investment we did for these waystones. Of course, I will look to use all of these good mobs, like this one, at least if they have like 2 or more modifiers. So this one has a boss an increased level, this one has 4, so I'm gonna try to do at least 2 or more of these modifiers. All right, so I have now all of these maps with increased number of rare monsters and 36% delirious. I'm gonna tell how much I invested on these ones, and then we'll see if it was worth it or not. So I have just done 10 maps instilled with 3 Paranoia Distills, and the results are pretty good. So we invested around 90 Exalted to upgrade with modifiers, and then to instill them with Paranoia, and that was around 90 Exalted. And we got 1 Divine Orb from these runes. And as you guys can see, we can have an overlook at all of these, and we can see that the ones with more modifiers, with more like when they have like 4 things like box, expedition, radiated, and more stuff, you get more resources from there. The last one I did at 4 and I got like 7 units, but not so much exalted or other currency. But the total of these 10 maps is 522 exalteds. Of course, we got a Divine Orb, and the Divine Orb is 297 exalteds, but even if we take that 297 exalteds out, it's still like almost around 150 exalteds of profit. So this works pretty good. We got 522, and that's a really good result. So the next test we are doing will be with grids. So I'm going to craft 10 maps with good modifiers. I'll select 10 maps with good modifiers, and then I'm going to instill them with grid, which increase the rarity. I spent around 60 exalteds on these ones to buy the grid distillations, and also with exalteds basically to increase to 6 modifiers. And as you guys can see, we have pretty good maps. We have this one with 22 plus the 24 from the distilled ones. We have increased rarity, number of monsters, okay, so all of them have rarity or increased number of rare monsters. As you guys can see, they look pretty good. This one doesn't have rarity but has rare monsters. 101 increased rarity. They look pretty good. So I really expect to get good stuff from these ones. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do these 10 maps and we'll see the results. So after doing 10 maps instilled with the one that gives you more rarity, we got these results. So I have this Excel file that I filled while I was doing this, and the results look pretty good. So on this one, we got much more units. We got 44, we got 12 Chaos Orbs, and a lot of Exalted Orbs. We didn't got a Divine Orb, so I would say that was just a random drop. I don't think it's related with the rare installation, but we got a final profit of 218. At 218, so we got 82 Exalted, 3 Gem Cutters, 19 Orb of Alchemy, 3 Lesser Jewels, 33 Val Orbs, 82 Splinters, and we got Orb of Annulment. We got 0 Orbs of Annulment over 10 maps with rare monsters. With these ones with rarity, we got 4 Orb of Annulment. So we got After taking the investment we did, which was 60 exalted, we got a profit of 218, which is pretty good. Since I did these 10 maps, now let's have a overlook and compare between those 10 maps with rarity and those 10 maps that we increased the rare monsters. So here we can have a look and compare everything that we got. So we did 10 maps, this is the ones I did, as you guys can see, the bridge and stuff. I don't know what happened this one, I probably erased by mistake. And we have these ones were with rarity, monster rare and paranoia, these ones was with grid. Okay, so we can see that we got much more uniques with the grid. This one was 27, this one was 44. We got one divine orb with rare monsters, this one we got 0. We got 17 chaos orbs, we got more chaos orbs on that one rather than with rarity. We got 12, but we got orb of annulment, which each orb of annulment it's 16 exalted, each one of chaos orb it's 5. So we still got more currency with orb of annulment that rather than with chaos orbs. Then we got much more chaos orbs, we got 82 rather than 52, we got the same gem cutter prisms, we got more orb of alchemies, we got much lesser jewels, we got no greater jewels, we got one on the other 10 maps, we got less splinters, and we got less armorer scrap, alright? And we got much more profits. We invested 90 exalted and the profit was 432 because we dropped the divine orb and each divine orb is 297, but if we didn't add that drop it will be 135 exalted. Alright, so I basically converted everything to exalted and this was the result. So 135. And the real profits, we invested 60 exalted with grid and exalted orbs to increase those mobs, and the profit was 218 exalted. Alright, so we got from all the currency we got, so this is just a currency, I'm not talking about the unique items. I mean, this conversion is from the chance shards, because if you disenchant those uniques you will get a chance shard, but you can keep them, it's up to you. But you have also the other yellow items and all of the other stuff that you can sell, but I'm not counting with that, just with the currency and see how much we get. Alright, so I got much more stuff from rituals and all the breaches. I farmed a lot, of course, but I just want to talk about the currency, and as we can see, it makes a really great difference. Okay, we did much more profits instilling these waystones rather than just with exalted orbs. Okay, so it's really worth it. Even if you have a less exalted orbs, it's really worth it to do this investment, and you will get much more profit from farming those mobs. So you can do both things at the same time. You can level up and still get a lot of currency while doing these maps. I got 218 and this one I got 135 or 432 because I got one divine orb. So if you guys want to know, I have at the moment I have 227 rarity, which is a lot. I have 227 rarity plus all the rarity from the waystones, so it's kind of good, I think. And the last thing you can do, I'm not going to do in this video, I'm going to leave this for a final one and do some maps and show the results with chaos orbs. So will be exalted orbs over instilled, and then we're gonna corrupt it, because after you need to put some exalted orbs on it, then instill it, and then we put a Val orb over it. And yeah, it's a bit risky. If you don't have much resources, it's not worth it, because you can just lose all your investment and turn it to a tier 14. Of course you can still use it, but depending which tier and what level the monsters are, the better the resources you'll be getting. So it's really good when it stays as a TD15 and increases all the modifiers, or if it turns to a T16. So if a lot of resources, if you are already getting some divine orbs, it's a good investment to start doing that. But keep in mind that when you instill those mobs, they will become harder. Even the bosses, they will become harder. So make sure that you have a good equipment by that time. Otherwise you don't want to die in those maps. All right, you don't want, otherwise you are losing just the investment you did on that waystone. And this is it, guys. I hope this video helped you to understand how good is it to invest on the waystones. How can you get more resources? This way you get much more. It's a bigger investment, but you get a lot back. Okay, so as you guys can see, I got a lot of stuff. If you guys want to join my Discord, I'm gonna leave all these Excel files there, a screenshot of it. If you guys want to have a look and see what are the results from all these tests I did. I'm doing 10 maps, so the next video I want to do the same thing, but with Val Orbs. The last tip I want to give, I don't think the best way is to use one or another. Basically, if you pick one map, let's see if there's one. So for example, basically, if you have one like this one with rare monsters, and if you have a high percentage of rare monsters, probably will be better that you instill it with greed to increase the rarity, since you have a lot of rare monsters that will give you rare drops, right? If you have one with a lot of rarity, like 100 rarity, then you can increase it with rare monsters, because the more rare monsters you have, the more drops you will have, and since you have a lot of rarity, it will increase the chance. So I think that's really the best way, but both will increase your currency. Of course, the rarity for sure will give you more exalted, as you guys seen on this. I'm gonna bring it back. As you guys seen on this, we got 82 exalted. This is a 30 exalted difference. We got orbs of annulment. I got 0 orbs of annulment before, and talking about currency, we got much more, but we didn't have a divine orb dropping from those 10 maps. But I would say was just random, and it was because we didn't get much from this map. As you guys can see, we got 1 unique, 1 divine orb, 1 chaos, 3 exalted. For example, this one we got 11, 13 simulacrum splitters, and we got no greater jewel. But we got the same greater jewel, was on the same map as the one with a divine orb. Alright guys, so I hope this helped you guys. Comment below what you think about these results, if I should trust them or not. I think this is a good way to increase your drop chance. And of course, don't forget you have the tablets as well. So when you are using some tablets, they can increase your rarity over all the maps. For example, this one has all of these modifiers because I used some tablets on the maps around it, so they will increase your chances as well. As you guys can see, I have more rare monsters, more magic monsters, etc. Eventually, if you level up all your Atlas tree, these ones, they will give you some more stuff. For example, this one is pretty good because the higher the level of the map, the higher chance you have to have good drops. And the one with map bosses, we have this one that will give irradiated to that map. So they will have 1+ monster level, of course will be a bit harder, but you will also have a higher chance to get those good drops. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, leave that like and subscribe if you want to watch more content like this. Stay tuned for the next video with the Val Orbs, and see you next time.